G'day, Michael Guest, and I've got my mate here, Jack Nolan, who happens to be an outboard mechanic.
Yep.
Jocko, the one thing that's going to wreck your trip on the way to the boat ramp or on the way home from the boat ramp is what?
Yeah, wheel bearings, mate. Wheel bearings.
First thing we need to do is actually jack the trailer up. We're going to check this one here to start with, so we'll put a stand under there just for safety. And I haven't undone the wheel nuts yet because first thing we want to do is check if there's any play there, isn't it, Jack? So,
yeah.
So I want to make sure it all spins freely. And that sounds pretty good. Can't hear any. If you hear a horrible this sort of grating noise, that's bad. And you're going to be due to definitely change some bearings. That's for sure. All right. So what we want to do then is just grab the top and the bottom, and then go side to side. And you really, if it had a millimetre of play, that's okay.
That's all right.
That's okay. Better to have a tiniest little bit of deflection than being too tight and generating heat.
If the nut's too tight, it'll overheat the bearings and eventually melt them, and
that's right.
Can be worse than having it a little bit loose.
Jack has let the jack back down again, so we can undo our wheel nuts. As I said, you don't want to loosen your nuts off because we want to feel if there's any play there. So we do that secondary. So then we just need to crack these fellas here. So I'll bust those, so I'll go along. So once we loosen all these off, and I've got a wheel brace, and it's much easier than using what you get in the pack with your full drive or your tow vehicle, isn't it? So you can get these in store. All of the spare wheel bearings that you should have, all that stuff is in store. So check it out. We're going to cheat. So whiz that up now. If you push that jack back up, pop the stand under. We're going to use the rattle gun just to make it a bit faster. All right, mate. Get that out of there.
That one from there.
Righto. Roll it out the way. So straight away, as an outboard mechanic, trailers are something that you're looking at as well. When people bring their boat in for a service, you're not just doing the engine, you're doing this
servicing the trailer, servicing everything like that.
So what are you looking for straight away, mate?
First of all, you're looking for any rust on the disc here.
Yep.
So you want to make sure that that's nice smooth surface for the brake pads to grab on there. Any rust around the cap here or corrosion, that looks pretty good there, to be honest.
So then as far as adjusting the wheel bearing goes, what we need to do is just tap that cap off. There we go. That was a bit harder to get off because one trick that I do is I use a bit of sealant. So, and if you have a look on the shelves in store, I put a bit of marine sealant on that cap, because straight away you can see that beautiful blue colour of the wheel bearing grease. So there's no discoloration.
No water in there.
No water ingress.
Yep.
I love that word, ingress.
Ingress.
It's a pretty cool word, isn't it? So that means there's no moisture, no salt water's got in there, or fresh water for that. So it hasn't gone a brown, green, horrible colour, that nice blue colour. So we haven't had any water get in there, which is just absolutely what you want to see.
Yeah. All your seals on the back of the bearing still working fine. So.
Yeah. So we've got no rust. That's awesome. So that's looking really good. And what we'll do is we'll run another bead of seal around there. So I'll show you how to do that before we tap that back on. All right, I'll grab that rag and we'll just clean that off. So if you do need to adjust your bearing, just wipe a bit of grease away from there. It's just a matter of pulling that split pin, and you can get spare split pins. You should have a little kit. So you can get these on the wall. So that's a spare castellated nut, the thrust washer that goes on there, and the split pins are in there. So you can get that kit, and you should always have that kit. And that one there's even got a split pin. So that's the full, complete bearing kit. You should always have a set of those with you as well. Even if you're not totally mechanically minded and you can't fix it on the side of the road yourself, somebody coming past, some good Samaritan, may well do, at least if you've got all the gear there, you know you're most of the way there. So we'll just pop that split pin out. If you get him out. Slide that split pin out, and then straight away, just even with my fingers there, I can feel that's just nipped up. So they're what we call a castellated nut. So there's those grooves that run right through. That's where the split pin goes. That stops that nut from coming loose.
Yep.
And generally when you're going to adjust them, if there was some play, we might just have to turn that around to the next, well, you can only go so far. You've got to go around to the next hole. So just be careful that you're not getting to that point where it's too tight.
Yeah.
I think
too much pressure on the bearings, and like you said, it'll make them hot.
Yeah, and so what do you do? Normally I would nip that up, and then I would go, yeah, I'm happy there, and check that I can still turn that. Yeah, and you're always going to have a bit of friction here because the brake pads are touching that disc. Make sure your handbrake's off too.
Yeah, yep.
Otherwise you're going to dive and then go, what's going on here? So we've got the trailer chocked, and that means we've got something behind the wheel so the trailer can't roll away, handbrake's off, and away we go. But that's all looking pretty good. So if you did need to adjust it, it's a matter of just adjusting it to that next hole, putting that split pin back on, and we'll show you how to put that sealant on and tap that cap back on. But that all looks really good.
Really good, yeah.
All right, mate, we'll pop this back in. Just do that sealant and we're done. So that adjustment's really good. Just make sure that stays free. If you over tighten that wheel bearing nut and you can't turn that, then that's definitely too tight. So you've still got to have nice, free play. You can imagine if you're doing 100 kilometres an hour down the freeway and that wheel's spinning around, it's generating temperature. Friction is what's going to generate the temperature. If it's too tight, it's going to generate too much temperature. It'll melt that wheel bearing grease, it'll force it out, and eventually that bearing will run dry.
Just checking those caliper bolts are nice and tight, nipped up. If they come loose, it's not a great time. That.
No, and they can do that occasionally too. So make sure you nip those up, and also have a look at your pad wear.
Yep.
If you've got any excessive pad wear on your brake pads, and you can visually see we've got plenty there.
Yeah.
Then you need to replace those, and they're all easy things to do. Once again, in the shed,
Yep.
and not on the side of the road. All right, so just quickly swap my fingers here. I've got a bit of this. So all these things that you can see, even that, they're ones that came off the shelf in store, and you can see that's been rubbed up, it's been sitting in my box, and I haven't had to use it. I would much rather have it look like that and stay like that because I've done my maintenance. So that's just all part of the kit that I carry around with me, and you can get this sealant in store. So just a little bit of sealant, I usually just put a bit there like that, and then just wipe it. You don't want it inside that cap, and just wipe a nice, perfect, even amount right around that edge, a little bit more there. And if you don't want to get this on your fingers, just get yourself a little thin pair of gloves. I'll just wipe that straight off my fingers. That's all it needs to be. None inside there. Don't need to pack any more grease in there. The amount of grease is good. And then that will just push straight back on. And then once that's tapped on, just wipe my finger around the edge of that sealant. And that's going to seal that cap on there and stop that, or help stop any water ingress from getting in there. Let it dry first before you put just give it an hour or two to let it dry up before you back your trailer back into the water. But that's it. It doesn't have to be too technical. Just we've popped the wheel back on. One thing to remember is you should never ever just go around, and I've seen people do it before, where they tighten that one, and keep going around a circle. So my background is a professional rally driver. This bloke's an outboard mechanic, so we do know what we're talking about. So we'll just gently nip this one up. Then you want to do this one. So you want to go across. So then we've got nice even grip across the face of the hub, and then we're going to this one. So opposite, then this one, and then this one. And then what I'll do is I'll do a final tension with this. So not with a great big lever bar where you could over tighten and actually break the stud too. We don't want to do that. So you drop that back down now, jack it up, pull that stand out. So if you jack her up, we'll pop our safety stand out. Make sure you always use a stand. Drop that back down to the ground, and then we'll do our final tension on our wheel bearings, which is, I'll get the right side here, we'll be right, that one there. So once again, around there, perfect, opposite to there, this one here, there, this one here, a bit more on that one, and that one there. Because if you start at one spot and keep going around, you can actually change, buckle the wheel, the face of the wheel. So, but that's the right way to do it. That's it and ready to go. All right, mate, time to go fishing.
Let's do it, eh?
Yeah.